pilot project to offer girls and women from low-income families free sanitary products has already been launched, but there's growing calls for a change in the law. Now, if successful, all women across Scotland could choose to no longer pay for sanitary products. Well, joining us now to discuss this is the Labour MSP Monica Lennon, who's behind the consultation on a Members' Bill aimed at ending the problem. Monica Lennon, what prompted you, first of all, to take action?
Good evening, Hala. Well, I'm Scottish Labour's inequality spokesperson, so my interest is in how do we tackle, or how do we reduce poverty, but how do we tackle it and support people in need. And it was very evident that people are going without the basics, and we know there's been a growth in food banks. And not only are people going without food, they're going without sanitary products, which people need on a monthly basis on their period. So, you know, sadly, there's many people who are going without, and particularly younger people in school who are frightened to ask.
And well, how big a problem would you say this period poverty is? Is it a growing problem?
Period poverty has always been around, it's not going away, and with poverty on the increase in Scotland, people having their benefits sanctioned, being left with no income. So we know that situation isn't really getting better, but it's also about the everyday situation where periods just happen unexpectedly, and for younger people in school, they're finding that there's no sanitary products in toilets in schools or colleges. So we're trying to address period poverty, but also create a system which respects everyone's dignity and just takes the hassle out of having a period.
Now, we know there is this trial underway in food banks up in Aberdeen, but your proposal is to cement this in law so that every woman could get free period products. Why do you want to make this universal?
So the pilot scheme is really welcome in Aberdeen. That's aimed at supporting 1,000 women, but there are around 1.3 million people in Scotland who could be experiencing menstruation. The proposal would be universal in terms of access for everyone, but uptake of the scheme would probably be quite modest in reality, because sanitary products, you know, women have their preferred brand of tampons or sanitary pads and would probably continue to just buy them in supermarkets. But I think it's important to have a safety net in place which doesn't ask people, you know, intrusive questions, doesn't ask them about their circumstances, because income is certainly part of it, or lack of income, but there's also situations where women find themselves in abusive relationships and just don't have, you know, control over their own health and their own bodies. So if we had a system which was means tested, it wouldn't necessarily help people in those situations. And of course, food banks are referral based, and not everyone has that referral. And they're meant to be for very short-term use. OK, and just quickly, how much cross-party support is there for this in Scotland? There's growing cross-party support. The Scottish Government's pilot scheme is a really welcome signal, and I think there's an acceptance from the Government that period poverty does exist. And today in the Scottish Parliament, I've been launching the consultation, and we've had endorsements from people right across Civic Scotland, the Teaching Union, the EIS, the Children's Commissioner in Scotland, the Trussell Trust, who run the biggest network of food banks. So there's a wide coalition of support politically and across Civic Scotland.
Yeah, that's great. Thanks very much for that, MSP Monica Lennon, talking us through that proposal. And of course, the public consultation is underway. You can take part on the Scottish Parliament website.